My name's Judy Talley, and I'm facilitating this the session today for Therapy Break. We're so glad to have you. I think we may end up having some more people join us in a little while, but we'll start on time. And now, Rebecca, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a very casual kind of meeting and event. So you can see that you can just, as you speak, if you've got your mic on, we can hear you. Like, I think I heard you, Maria, say hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Margaret, can you say hi?
I don't think her sound is on just yet.
Okay, so Margaret, if you turn your sound on, and if you happen to be on Zoom, the sound is down it's a microphone down in the lower left-hand corner. And of course on your phone, if you want to mute your phone, if you're on your phone, but that way, just pipe in whenever, with your questions or comments, any stories you want to share. Kelly is wonderful. She is here to talk to us. She does power. Have you heard of power exercise program? Kelly's going to tell us about that. It's a specific program for people with Parkinson's. And as you probably already know, exercise and daily activity is just about one of the best things that you can do when you have PD. It's that thing, if you want to keep moving, keep moving. And power is a wonderful way to learn some moves that will be particularly helpful for you, and a program that you may have where you live that you can join and participate in. I want to introduce you to Kelly, and let me tell you just a little bit about her, and she can tell us some more and add information as we go. But Kelly's in Atlanta. Was certified as a power instructor about a year ago, and she conducts group classes and also has some individual private clients that she works with as well. Teaches Silver Sneakers, which is a program for seniors, exercise program for seniors that is often offered at senior centers and different community centers. So she teaches that. She's a certified personal trainer and specializes in senior fitness. So for many people with PD, of course, being an older adult comes kind of with that territory sometimes. But even with younger people who are experiencing Parkinson's, they have the advantage of being younger and starting younger with exercise and creating the kind of lifetime habits that are going to keep them at optimal level of function. So Kelly has provided these wonderful programs in the Atlanta area. And Kelly, we're really happy to have you sharing your expertise and experiences with us, especially knowing that New Year's resolutions are high on a lot of people's lists. And people begin exercise programs sometimes the first of the year. And what I'm hoping is you'll give us all kinds of compelling reasons and ways to pick up the exercise habit and carry it through for the rest of our lives. So do you want to just jump in and tell us a little bit about what you're thinking?
Sure. Judy, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate this opportunity to talk to all of you about exercise. If there is one thing that you take away from my talk tonight, it is this one thing, that exercise is the only thing proven to slow the progression of Parkinson's. Medicine is wonderful. Modern medicine is tremendous and it works on symptoms, but exercise is the only thing that actually slows the progression of the disease. So if you need some motivation to get out there and exercise, there's one. Another thing, Judy and I were just talking before and Rebecca too, before we started, about just the motivation of getting yourself there, right? Once we get there, sometimes we feel like we just have to crush it at the gym. And I work at One Life, which is a club gym kind of thing. There's a chain toward the eastern part of the country. And people come in there and they are just trying to crush it every time. And that's not really the point for my clientele. We just want to get in there. If we're in there, that's a win, right? If you have a friend that can help be accountable with you, that's one of the best ways to continue the program and to make it consistent. But let me get on to what I was wanting to talk about today. If y'all can just look at me and let me know if you are familiar with the POWER program. You know what, okay, thank you. Is that Judy? That's Judy. Okay. So what I'm going to show you is just some of my favorite moves that I've found are the most effective for my people in my group classes that I teach POWER to.
Kelly, for, I don't mean to interrupt you, but for those people, especially those who may watch this afterwards on our YouTube channel, I know I was really new to what POWER was. Would you mind giving just like a really quick explanation of what it stands for and what it is? That would be awesome.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, I skipped that part. So POWER is spelled PWR, and it stands for Parkinson Wellness Recovery. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. It was created in 2010 by Dr. Becky Farley. And Power for Life is the exercise piece of that. And what we try to do is use cutting edge research that specifically targets what people with Parkinson's struggle with. So for example, bradykinesia, slow, small movements, everyday movements are a little bit smaller, shuffling gait, that type of thing. Spinal rigidity, both flexion and extension, as well as lateral flexion and rotation. So I'm going to show you some of those moves. We also touch on automaticity, which is kind of multitasking. When you're stepping off a curb, you have to think about the different level of the street. You have to think about cars coming. You have to think about the timing of your walk. All of these things that we do automatically, someone with Parkinson's has struggles with, and some of you may know that. So these are some of the things that I'm going to touch on today. Am I speaking too quickly, or can you guys hear me okay? We're good? Okay, so the first one that I just want to show you is one of my favorites, and it's a power up move from a sitting position. So a lot of these moves will be sitting. And to start, we're going to do the opposite. So I just want you to sit and do as much of these as you want to. You can participate with your eyeballs or with your whole body as much as you are comfortable. So go ahead and just slouch in your chair. Do what your mama always told you not to do. And I want you to feel how difficult this is to breathe. You can't expand your lungs well when you're in a slouched position. Now, slowly and gradually, I want you to just sit up tall. I want you to think about lengthening your spine, stacking those vertebrae on top of each other, and keeping those shoulders down. Okay, now feel how easy it is to breathe. The lungs are no longer constricted by your rib cage. Let's try that again. We'll do 2 more times. So just slouch and relax everything, and then sit up tall. This is a modified power up. We're going to make this bigger in just a minute. And then 1 more time, slouch and sit tall. So as you sit tall, you're going to contract your abdominals. There's a muscle that goes pretty much all the way around your core, and that's the one I want you to tighten up. Okay? So from this position, I might need to back up. Excuse me, I have my dogs with me, so I might need to put them in another room at some point. But so what I want you to do is just sit toward the edge of your chair. And the first move is a power up. So your feet are about shoulder width apart, planted firmly on the floor. You're just going to reach forward. And as you sit up, you're going to power up. So I think you can see my hands. I'm not just opening my hands this way. I'm opening my hands this way. So extend the fingertips, extend the shoulders, squeeze the shoulders back, gently lift the chin. That is a power up move from a sitting position. We're going to do that 3 times. So you're going to come down. And then as you open, you squeeze your shoulder blades. Each time I'm going to give you something else to think about. Good, Judy. Yeah, make sure you got nothing in the way. All right, and come on down again. This time I want you to feel the energy flowing out of your fingertips. So reach, you think you're reaching, I want you to reach just a little bit further. And let's go 1 more time. And this time I want you to feel all down your spine, squeezing the muscles behind your spine. Excellent, and you may feel a good stretch in your chest in front of your shoulders as well. Great, so that's the power up in the sitting position. The program that I'm going to show you is made up of 4 moves in 5 different body positions. There's sitting, standing, all 4s quadruped, or on your belly or on your back. I'm not going to show you all of them because we just don't have enough time. But there's the power up, which I just showed you. There's the power rock, the power twist, and the power step. And so we're going to get to a few of those right now. Put your feet a little bit wider. Now we're going to do the power rock. I'm going to back up some so you can see my feet. That's my dog, y'all. That's my second dog. Okay, can you still hear me? Okay, so we're going to come here, and when you power rock, you're going to rock all your weight onto, it's my right hip, but let's use your left hip, and then just go the other direction. So you're rocking. So why do we teach the rock? What's the importance of the rock? Well, when you're walking, if you're in a standing position and you want to start to walk, you have to get all your weight on one side to free up the leg that you're about to step with, right? So this is what we're practicing here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So you're going to rock to the left, and I want you to reach your arm, and you can follow your eyes with your, or follow your fingers with your eyes, and then come back to the center and go to the other way. So this is the power rock in the sitting position. We're going to do that again. Let's lift and reach. Make sure you've got all your weight on just one side, and relax on the other side, and relax. I can't take too much time on any one move, so we're going to move on. The next one is a power twist. So this is going to be with your spine rotating. I want you to do your power up, hold it here. And the power twist in the sitting position, you're just going to come over and I want to hear the clap with your hands. And then you're going to open and go to the other side. Power twist. Keep going, side to side. Now you can keep going while I'm talking to you, but I want to tell you in my class, I have my people hold yoga blocks, and when they bring them together, it's like they're dusting the erasers back in elementary school, and it helps to motivate. So the reason why I bring that up is you want to have some type of target to help you move bigger, move louder, and move with more amplitude. That's proven to make a big difference, okay? If you have any questions, please stop me. I'm happy to review. But we're going to move on. The next few we're going to do is the power step. And I'm going to back up a little bit again because I want to show you something. Can you guys see my feet? Let me turn this down just a little. Okay. So the power step, instead of just stepping to the side, we are going to step up and over. Okay? So to help me do that, I've just got a couple of beach towels, and I did this on purpose, things that you might have around your house. And I just put some rubber bands around them to hold them still. Now I've got an obstacle to step over. All right, so we're going to step up and over, and we're going to come back. And we're going to step up and over, and we're going to come back. We good? Let's make it a little bigger and over. And when we do this in class, we have a floor that when you stomp, it's really nice and loud and you can hear it. So that's what I try to have them do. And apart and together. Okay, I'm going to come forward. Another thing that we do too is sequencing. So if we just do one move, that's hard. When we string a couple of moves together, that makes it a little tougher. So we're going to do a little bit more with this move. You're going to go apart, and you bring your other leg to it, and then you come back. And then you would go the other way. So left, right, and back to center. Good, I see some of you trying it. Right, left, and back to center. So you're staying tight in your core as you move with each movement. All right, any questions so far?
Kelly,
hey, we got one more thing to add. Oh, did you say something?
I was going to say, you know, therapists always use the word amplitude with power and with Parkinson's. And I wonder sometimes, you know, I know you guys have your special meanings for some of the words, but what actually should we be thinking when a therapist tells us about amplitude?
Amplitude could mean a couple of things. Amplitude with your voice could mean volume, of course. And you use force when you're speaking to help project your voice. Amplitude in a movement could be either speed or power, right? So either you're going to get out there and do it quickly, or you're going to do it strongly. So here's a move without amplitude. Here's a move with amplitude. So it's with power and with speed. Does that help?
Yeah, Yeah,
So
thank
every move you do, another word, one of my favorite words is intentionality.
you.
So if we're going to do something, we're going to do it on purpose and we're going to do it intentionally. And so that kind of ties in with amplitude. Okay. All right. The next few are going to be standing up. All right. So I'm going to show you some moves in the standing position. Remember, that's our second power position. So let me move the chair. All right. Can you see me? So the power up in the standing position is just a squat, and then you power up. Same idea. I'm going to show you from the side so you know. It's just a normal squat like you would be sitting in a chair, and then when you stand up, you squeeze the shoulder blades, roll those thumbs back, and open those fingers as tight as you can. And try it again. You're going to sit and extend up. Let's do 2 more. So you're going to come down, power up. That feels so good just to do that. Down and power up. Great. So why do we do so much about powering up? Why is that important? Well, if you think about what we do in life, we read a book, we watch videos, we watch TV, we drive a car, we get on the computer, and everything is pulling us forward. So what we have to do is fight back, and we have to actually push our shoulders back, strengthen the muscles that are stretched and weak in our back, and stretch the muscles that are tight in our chest. Okay, Judy, I'm coming back up to you. We're standing. So we did our power up move, right? Now we're going to do our power rock move. So this is the one that's going to help us get ready to take a step. So if you ever have problems turning or starting to walk when you haven't been walking, this is a great practice to do. If you're unsure, please do this behind a chair or next to something stable. And you're just going to feel your weight shift. All right, so that's a rock, but that's not very powerful. Let's add some power to it. So you're going to come to the center, and when you reach, you're going to reach as far as you can, past your fingertips, focus past yourself, bigger than yourself, and then come to the center, and let's go the other side. Reach, and back. I'm going to back up. I want you to look at my feet. I've just got my little toenail whisper touching here. If you want to do advanced, you can actually pick that foot up off the floor, only if you're feeling comfortable. And then come to the center, and then the other side. So that's your power rock, okay? Next one is the power twist. Now I like this one standing because you can get your whole body involved. We're going to start from a power up, and we're going to go to a twist position. And remember, we're clapping. So notice I'm not stationary. I'm not trying to do this. I'm trying to rotate my whole body and get it into a twist. Everybody get here. And then you're going to open, way up, power up, and twist. So it starts from the feet. You're grounded with the feet. And you open, and you twist. And let's go one more. Open, and twist. Very nice. Any questions? We good? Okay, so power stepping here. Instead of just taking a little step, sometimes we need a little more motivation to get walking. So you're going to step up and forward and bring it back. And we're going to go up and forward and bring it back. Yes. So the power up is going to be when you come forward. Forward. You're going to keep your chest lifted as you step. And these power steps can be in any position. They can be forward, they can be side, or they can be to the back angle. Let's go one more each leg. And relax. Good. So that's a power step in the standing position. The next is going to be quadruped on all fours. If you're not comfortable getting there, another option you can do would be to put your hands on a chair or on a countertop. So essentially, from a spinal perspective, I'm in the same position here as I am. That makes sense? It's just a lot easier to get there if you're on the chair. So I'll be down here, but anything I do down here, you can do here. Okay. So first things first, I want you to round your spine like a cat. This is a cat position in yoga. And then I want you to arch your spine. So if care partners are around, a good way that they can cue is to actually touch really lightly on the spine. And that's going to help cue the person to round their spine. and then arch, and then find the center. So you're not rounding, you're not arching, you're right in the center. And that's going to be your first position. This is our position where we do the rest of our moves, okay? So a power twist in this position. This one's kind of fun. You're going to reach your hand down underneath and push your shoulder toward the floor. And then you're going to open toward the ceiling. So when I have my students do this, I'm going to face you so you can see. We go here, and then they start at about 9 o'clock. This is what I call 9 o'clock. It might look like 3 o'clock to you, but I try to get them to get closer to 12 o'clock. Does that make sense? You're trying to shoot for 12 o'clock straight up. So do a few more. You're going to round down, and you're going to rotate up. Feel that spine rotating, and down, and lift. All right, try the other side. Another thing to think about is try not to shift too much in the hips. Try to make it all come from rotation in the spine. Take that right arm down, and a rotate, lift. Again, come on down, and rotate and lift. One more time. Come on down, and rotate. All right, one of my favorites is a power step from this position. This is useful if you fall and you don't know how to get up off the floor. You're going to get to your belly, roll to your belly, push up onto your fours, and then you're going to load back and power step. Okay, watch again from the side. You're going to load back like you're loading a spring, and then you're going to slingshot the leg forward. With my students, I'll have a dot, a colored dot to shoot your leg to. So you sit back and you try to hit the dot. All right, is anybody down here with me? No, but you get the idea, and when you see the video, you'll be able to duplicate it. All right? All right, so once you've done all these and you've done them on both sides, if you happen to be on the floor, then this is how you would get back up. You would use your knee, or use a chair, or use both hands on the knee, and just gently stand up back to a standing position. Any questions? Okay. So there are so many other exercises I could show you from the Power program, but I don't want to overload, and I just wanted to give you a taste of what's possible. So I want to encourage you to find therapists or instructors in your area, and I can show you how to do that, because we are all over the place. But this is just a little taste of the benefits that we have through the Power program. All right, so that's all I had for you tonight. Are there any questions? Are there any other things I can help you with?
Kelly, I've got a question.
Yes.
When people are out and about, are there any kind of moves that they can make while they're waiting in line or, you know, sitting that would be helpful to do? You know, just throughout the day as occasions come up where, you know, you're in the doctor's office, you're in the grocery store line or whatever, that would be helpful. And
that is a great
thing to do in public.
Yes, yes. Well, some people don't want to be moving around in public, but assuming that you're okay with it, that's a great way to be, just what I was saying, intentional about your moves and intentional about your time, because we only have those 168 hours. So let's say, like I was yesterday at the DMV, waiting an hour for my son to take his driver's test, right? What can I do to make that time useful? Well, how about some shoulder rolls, right? So you're going to come up, back, and down. And always with the Power, we roll back. Life rolls us forward. We're going to roll back. So there's 3 moves. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And once you've planted your shoulder blades in your back pockets, that's where they should live, right? So you can just practice that move as you're sitting there, and people might start joining you because it just feels so good, right? Reaching up and rolling back. Another thing that might help you is just to do some neck stretches. So without moving your shoulders, just try to see if you can reach your left ear to your left shoulder and go side to side. So this is kind of unobtrusive. You could kind of get away with this, right? Going side to side. You can add a little roll down with your chin, and you're going side to side this way. Judy, you just asked me, so this came to my head. Something that I see very often is a forward head posture, and that's not just with Parkinson's, that's with our general population, right? So instead of being sitting up tall, ear over shoulder over hip, we're more hunched over this way. So another thing you can do, I call it the turtle, and you just push your chin back. Okay, here's where we a lot of times live, right? So we're going to push the chin back. And if you do that, you're going to feel a stretch up the back of your neck. All those back neck extensor muscles are tight. So that's going to stretch that. And it's also going to strengthen the front of your neck.
Well, those you could get away with in public.
I think so.
I
think so.
Watching you do them is kind of relaxing. So that's good.
You know, if I could get paid to exercise for people, I would be a millionaire. But you kind of got to participate, unfortunately.
Right. Well, does anybody else have any questions or things you want to tell Kelly? Just speak up if you do. We're all on chat, so. Okay, anything? I'm not hearing any questions. So I guess that means that we've taken our therapy break. As Rebecca mentioned, she has recorded this session. So it's going to be on YouTube if you want to revisit it. And I can tell you, I have known hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with Parkinson's, with support groups that I've done over 2 decades of work with people with Parkinson's. And invariably, someone will come up and say, oh yeah, I was diagnosed 15 years ago. I was diagnosed 20 years ago. And I couldn't even figure out when they came in with their spouse who had Parkinson's, because they were so agile and their movements were so fluid and they still had their speed and their posture was still tall and straight. I can tell you 100% of the time, they tell me, I exercise every day. I stay active. I had one woman say that since I've been retired, I've made exercise my job. And I can tell you that it is absolutely amazing how well exercise will keep you moving, keep you flexible, keep you moving with more speed. You'll be able to hold your balance better because you're not as likely to fall if you're quicker on your feet to catch yourself before you hit the ground. You know, there's all kinds of benefits. And exercise is something that you don't just do and then stop. If you're going to make it a focus in your life, focus on making it a habit. That's really the best thing you can do. And I can tell you, I'm, as an older adult myself, that kind of habit should last your entire life because you want to be active and participate in your life your entire life. So,
and,
absolutely.
I think that's such a great sentiment, Judy. And I was also wondering, Kelly, you had mentioned that. Would you be able to, are you able to share and show like how people can find power groups in their area?
Yes.
You could use yours as an example, maybe if there's like a special search. I actually don't even know how to find something like that in my area. So it would be really cool if you were able to do that, before we wrapped up.
Yes.
It would be great.
Okay, absolutely. But before I do that, I wanted to dovetail off of something Judy said about the exercise. Yes. And the mindset, also the positivity in the people with Parkinson's that I've come across, they don't define themselves by their disease, and they are not a Parkinson's patient. They are a person with Parkinson's. They are a person first, and they haven't defined themselves by their afflictions, and they're going to fight. I had a client tell me today, I am going to fight it every step of the way. And that just brings me such inspiration. And so there's going to be days that you're not going to want to come to the gym, but you guys have an extra motivation to do that because it's going to help slow the progression of the disease. And to your point, it's going to just make you live better longer. Okay, so how can I connect my screen to what you guys are seeing.
Okay, well, if you want to share your screen with us, down at the bottom there, you see that little green box that says share?
I do not.
Are you on a full screen?
You'll roll your mouse over your window where you can see all of our faces, and it should be at the bottom there.
Did you just lose me?
No, we've got you.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I see it now. There it is. Okay, so share the screen.
And what we will do is we'll see your screen, and then you can show us a website, or you can do whatever you need to do and we'll see it.
Okay, so if I did that, can you see the power screen now?
Not yet. So did you select the screen that you want, and it should give you the option to click share. Yep,
Share.
there you
There
go.
you go. You got it.
Okay,
Good job.
so now you can see the power screen, right? Okay, so this is a really long website up here, but basically if you just type in the https://www.powerforlife.org, and look how they spell that, PWR, the number 4, life.org. So once you get to that website, then you're going to see this bar, this purple bar, and you're going to go to the For People with Parkinson's, and you're going to scroll down to where it says find a Power Moves professional in your area. Now that's going to include both instructors as well as therapists. So I'm going to do that. And I actually did it earlier, so it's already on that screen. So if you know them by name, you can put their name in here, or if you are in a city, let's say somebody lives in Chicago. So I'm going to put in Chicago, and I'm going to come over here and search. So now it's going to give me all the therapists and the instructors in that area. I don't know if I've got this well, but do you see where it's showing all the therapists, and it tells you what their qualifications are and how to get in touch with them and where they practice? Is that helpful?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's
okay. Because what I've shown you is just the tip of the iceberg. And another thing I wanted to mention too is you need to get a network.
Mhm.
Right? So you need specialists, you need professional doctors, neurologists, all that, but you also need a support group and people that you can lean on. Thank you. People that you can lean on and just talk about things with, because you're not doing this alone. You weren't created to do this alone, and you don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely. And I know for some of the groups where they have power exercise programs, it becomes a very social kind of thing too. And once you get social in your group, it's much easier to show up every time because you're
Absolutely.
so that's great too. Yeah. Okay. Anything else for anyone? Let's see. I'm looking at one. That's it. It looks like I'm not seeing where we have any. I'm getting a phishing alert for the Power for Light site.
Let me double check the one I just posted. 1 second, Ken.
Yeah. See what you think, Rebecca.
I don't even know what that means.
Rebecca does.
Yeah, we can't.
Okay, good.
Try the link I just posted. I think that HTTPS is really important. That S means that the website is secure, if you didn't know that. So that's actually good to know when you're opening websites. If you see that S, that's actually a good thing. And then that link right there should work. And when in doubt, definitely, I just double checked it by just going to Google and just typing it in PWR, the number 4, life. And then it was the first
population
result that popped up because
okay.
they're popular.
I wanted to add one thing, and I don't know if it's available in all the areas, but many therapy clinics and hospital therapy departments have power-trained therapists. And Power also offers a therapy program. So in addition to exercising, you can also, if you're going to have therapy for Parkinson's, talk to the people about a power therapy program, because it's specific to PD and by people who've been trained and certified in power, like Kelly was showing you. So it's really just targeting a person with Parkinson's and their needs, and keeping them going and getting them sometimes back to a higher level of function than when they walk in the door.
Yes. And one more thing, if you happen to live in the Tucson area and you don't know about the Power Gym, I really recommend you look it up, because it's just an amazing place. I've never been there, and that's on my bucket list. I would love to go.
Okay.
And they're right down the street from you, right, Rebecca? They're pretty close.
Which one?
The Power Gym, the one that started.
I'm not sure.
Now,
Yeah, they're in Tucson as well.
PMD Alliance is located in Tucson, but we're all over the place, the staff is. So,
Oh.
I'm seeing that Maria wanted to ask something.
Well, just, I'm a power therapist, and the importance of having both the therapist and the fitness and professional instructor working together with both is really, really important. We work as teams, so you get a little about a therapy, and then you go out and exercise in the community, and it's really wonderful if you have therapists and instructors who are using that same research-based, really good power moves philosophy. The whole technique works well when you work with the whole team.
Absolutely.
Well, and with power certification, you know that person, therapist or the exercise leader, whatever, they know Parkinson's in a way.
Specialist, yeah.
Most exercise leaders and therapists may not. So that power certification is worth a lot to patients. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good thing to bring up. Okay, anything else? Well, then I guess we're ready to go about our evening.
And be intentional.
Intentional.
Goodbye.
Aww.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks so much, Kelly.
Sure thing.